All right, so I almost wasn't going to go play pickleball today, but then I got a knock at my door and this showed up. So I'm super excited to go use this. I'm a huge fan of Bread and Butter and all of their different paddles that they have. The Shogun is a permanent staple in my pickleball bag. One of my first nice paddles was the Loco, which I actually need to get a new one of these if I want to keep using this. And then I have the Fat Boy as well, which I think is a really good all-around paddle, especially for beginners, because one of my buddies, he was hitting with all of my different paddles, and this one was his favorite one. But I love all of these paddles. The Shogun is my favorite one right now, but we'll see. The Invader might now be my new favorite one. This is their latest paddle as of recording this video. Who knows when they are going to come out with a new one. This one is super cool. Let's get it unboxed. Before I forget, I probably have a discount code, and it's going to be good for all the paddles on the Bread and Butter website. I believe it's Spencer Does Reviews. If that's wrong, something else will be on the screen right now. But very cool. I love how they always have packaging. This one looks really cool as well. Look at the attention to detail on the packaging there. We're gonna open this up. Look at that. We came here to destroy it. Designed in outer space. Always love all of their packaging. And they make good paddles too, so it's not just marketing fluff. All right, so we have a koozie right here. Very cool. Looks like we have some hot sauce as well. We're going to check that out in a minute. And then obviously we have the paddle itself. So right away, the weight is pretty good. Looks like very nice. I actually like this color scheme. A lot of people might not. Normally, I do put a Hexacord grip on all of my paddles, as well as probably usually some upper tape, which you guys probably saw on my other paddles. But let's check this out. Okay, I could definitely feel the texture on there. So this is supposed to be thermoformed T700 with electroplated polyester titanium. So very similar type of face to the Shogun, only this is a titanium weave. So I can feel, obviously this one has been used, but I could definitely feel a difference. Now, this one's going to have been worn down a little bit, so this one's going to have probably put more spin. But this is also a hybrid shape, and this is supposed to be an elongated shape. You can see kind of the differences there on that. But as far as sizing-wise goes, it is a little bit shorter. I can tell that it's a little bit shorter right there. So that is something to take note of. This one is a 16 millimeter width body, but I definitely really like the design on here so far. And then we have, it's thermoformed, which is good. That's what you want. It's going to help out, with your control and everything. And if you can see this, I can actually see from the titanium weave, it kind of sparkle. I don't know if that's going to show up in the video very well, but I'm very excited. I can tell that this is going to put a lot of topspin. They are advertising this as a overall court paddle, not so much like a power paddle. And usually when you have a 16 millimeter, that's not necessarily what it is. It's not a power paddle. But if I'm a big fan of having lots of control, and if this is going to help me have lots of control, and since I'm a big fan of these hybrid shapes, so it's very similar to the Loco, it looks like, but it's not. Is it the exact same shape as the Loco? It's looking like it might be the same shape as the Loco. Maybe slightly different. I'm not going to say that it's the same shape because I'm not sure, but it looks pretty close. So if you're a big fan of the Loco shape, you're probably really going to like this Invader, the shape of it. And then you know, it's different, made of different material here, and obviously a different color scheme and all that. But I'm excited. I'm going to have to get this out on the courts to see how it plays, and then we'll, do a recap from that. All right, we're in the kitchen doing a follow-up of the bread and butter Invader, and I have to say, since I have gotten this, I've liked this so much. Normally when I get these new paddles, I'll play with it and then switch back to my old paddle because I'm not used to it or I'm not playing as well, and I still want to make sure that, I still want to win a few games, right? So basically, whenever I got this one, I haven't had to switch back to one of my old paddles. So as far as like for me personally, the period of getting used to it was very quickly, especially because I would say as far as what is similar to the types of paddles I've been playing with, which have been the Loco and the Shogun as kind of my go-tos right now. So this does have a different type of carbon weave there or type of weave with that titanium and carbon mix. You can see their polyester titanium. I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera. And you can see the weave. Now, I know that they were having an issue with something going on just some cosmetic issues. It wasn't actually with the durability or playability, anything like that. But I have to say, I absolutely love this paddle. It's given me really good spin, good pop. And I will say, though, the power, this is very much an all-around court paddle, but that's what I like. I don't personally, I've never really played with a big power paddle, so I can't really speak to that. But as far as my style of play, where I like to try to pick the best shots, and I'm still a beginner, I'm probably going to be claimed a rec player for sure in the like 3.0, 3.5 duper score. I don't know if I even have a duper score, but I really like this paddle, and definitely I really like the looks of it too. It definitely turned some heads. People were like, what is this paddle? But you have very good grit, so I was getting really good spin on the ball, and it was definitely going where I wanted it to go. I am probably going to end up replacing this with a grip, but that's just something I do with all of my paddles. That's not specific to the bread and butter Invader here. But I will say, if you like the hybrid shape, you're looking for a good control all-around court paddle, if you were going to look into probably getting the bread and butter Loco, I would probably just go ahead and get this instead. You are going to get more power than the Loco, and I would say you're not going to get as much finesse because the bread and butter Loco is very much more muted than this, but you are going to get really good control, and then the fact that you're going to get more power and more spin, in my opinion, makes it worth it. Unless you wanted that giant sweet spot, if you're just kind of specifically looking at the bread and butter paddles, if you wanted that giant sweet spot if you were wanting like the giant sweet spot of the bread and butter fat boy, that's definitely, because it is a very different shape, much bigger sweet spot, but this is a Kevlar weave, whereas this is T700 and polyester titanium weave. And just so you guys know, I do put a grip on all of my paddles. I have too many. You can see here we have grips on all of them. But the Shogun has been kind of my go-to with the Pickleball Apes Proline Energy. I really like this elongated shape. So just to give you guys an idea of the style of play that I have. The Mark 1 is another hybrid shape that I do like, but I don't know why. As far as like the hybrid shapes go, this one is probably my favorite one so far. I've tried a few different ones. I have the Loco, I have the Mark 1, I've tried AMA Sports 1, I've tried a few different ones, but like even the shape, it's basically the same shape as this Mark 1. But once again, this Mark 1 is a Kevlar carbon weave, whereas, so this is a Kevlar carbon weave hybrid shape, whereas this is a T700 polyester titanium. So as far as the finesse goes, I think you don't get as much control with the Kevlar carbon weave as you with the titanium weave, but you do get more power. And so especially this and more spin. You get more power and more spin, which ultimately, like, you know, if you can work it correctly, I think for me is helping out with my game. But man, so many paddles. I'm going to try and make a paddle wall. I need to get more. I saw someone else with a paddle wall, so now I want to make one, which means I need to get more paddles. But there you guys go. The bread and butter Invader. I really love this one. Like I said, it's been my go-to paddle since I got it. And I have it switched out with one in my bag so that I can start playing better. So check this one out. There should be a discount code. I believe it's Spencer Does Reviews, and that will actually work for any of the bread and butter paddles. You know, the Fat Boy, the Loco, the Drip, the Shogun. You know, I've tried all of them, and I actually like all the bread and butter paddles, but everyone's game is different, so it's going to depend on you. So check this one out. See you guys later.